It's worse than that. He's dead, Jim. Dead, Jim.
Dead Jim, dead.
Yeah. Hello, folks. Welcome to Garble Games here on a Tuesday evening, out of sequence for our normal Star Trek Adventures session, which is why it's session 5. Networks got confused. It's obviously going to do our ratings a great disservice in the long run.
Damn you, network.
Nah, just not getting it. Just
It's
not.
the price you pay for syndication.
It is indeed. We are playing Star Trek Adventures tonight. We were toying with the idea of trying to play like the follow-up to the Assassin's Gambit, where Pendek left us all on a fabulous cliffhanger. However, not all the cast who were playing that could play this one, so we decided to do the thing where the network just plays them out of order.
Yeah, we're on the wrong day.
Yeah.
And so not everybody could be scraped up.
And depending if we die in the second episode, this will either be a prequel or not.
Or a flashback, or a parallel dimension, or a dream, or a holodeck episode.
Holodeck
It's Star
episode.
Trek. We can do any of those things.
Yeah.
Our engineer is in sick bay with Pendaxi and Lurgy.
Yeah, all of Pendek's cakes and now feels a bit sick.
Yeah.
Hello,
Sure,
right.
make all the cakes, man.
Every time.
Hello, right.
It's cakes.
Hello, right. Physiology does not agree with some of the
Edibles.
edibles Pendek is growing.
Our commander went into the captain's office and knocked over a filing cabinet and now has to re-alphabetize all of Captain Boring's paperwork.
Oh, poor Captain Whitmore's not boring. He's just never doing his job.
He's just run of the mill.
Well,
He's fine. He's doing a fine.
Maybe he's actually like
something.
a super agent,
mhm.
you know, and this is just his cover.
Yep.
And he has to appear boring so that no one thinks he's actually like, you know.
Is it wrong that I picture our captain kind of like the engineering guy from Lower Decks?
Oh, yeah, so he's like secretly a really high ranking person in a planet somewhere, but he's just hiding on a ship because he doesn't want to do it. Yeah, I like it. But yeah, we are playing session 5 of our season 1 Star Trek Endurance. This session is called Cleft of the Rock, and we have 3 folks with us this evening. Ben, will you introduce Resh for us?
Yes. Hello, I'm Ben, and I am playing Lieutenant Commander Elomwi Resh, a joined Trill, and we're going on a little side mission, and it's very exciting because I get the big chair. Not that there is a big chair in the Danube shuttles.
But you've picked one to be the big chair.
Got a sticker on it.
Anti-macassar on it.
Yeah.
Some doilies.
You've claimed it in the way that first officers always claim the captain's chair.
Rubbing your crotch on it.
That's the one.
Is that what's in like Command Track at Academy? Like the Riker maneuver?
Oh, this is my chair now. Oh, hell yes. Yes, it is.
Yes, not until it's disinfected anyway.
This is why Grellick doesn't have a chair on the bridge.
Speaking of Grellick,
Yeah, speaking of Grellick, do you want to introduce them, Adun?
Hello, yes, I'm Aldun. I will be playing Grellick, the very sensible and rational Vulcan science officer on this super secret squirrel where are we going away mission.
Going away mission. And everybody's favorite enlisted Chief Petty Officer Second Class, I think we picked, didn't we?
Yeah. I'm gaining ranks. So Pendek basically on this little like agri world, he saved a Federation officer, which is why he's been given this opportunity, and it's just his other skills, you know, that he kind of brings with him. And we haven't actually decided which officer Pendek saved.
Was it somebody on the Ashton?
Well, I don't know. We've not really explored that, you know, or why he was saved, or what he was doing that meant he had to be saved.
Sounds like Captain
exciting.
Beige got in trouble.
I think I'm due a demotion fairly soon for doing something stupid like making cakes and leaving them near the captain or near the engineer or near someone. I'm sure that's going to cost me at least a pip.
You don't have any pips. It's embroidered onto your turtleneck.
Oh no, I'm going to have to do some more sewing.
Oh, you've drawn them on yourself.
Yeah, you've got to sit there with a quick unpick and undo each stitch.
Yeah, they're like
You're realistic.
wiggly. They're wiggly, weird things.
I'm just going to get the hologram to project itself over me with less.
All right, so this episode of our Star Trek Endurance takes place on an undetermined star date, redacted perhaps, as we are on a return journey. We've just been to perhaps some sort of Klingon science medical conference or Federation conference, science. Some kind.
Science!
As
They got me all excited for my first command and then told me to take the scientist and the doctor to a meeting.
Yeah.
that was it.
You got to pick which bedroom you wanted on the runaround, though.
Yes, it is fitted for long distance.
Yes, you can have this chair or this chair.
No, you will
No,
find
there's
that there
actually
are
bedrooms.
fold-down
There are actually
bunks.
staterooms. There are staterooms behind.
Yeah, there are bedrooms on
No,
a Danube.
they're
It's
not.
all right.
Is that the other option was like extra weapons, and of course we'd never let Resh have that.
Resh has just filled their bedroom with torpedoes.
Brought my own.
We have
One of
no
the bedrooms
torpedo
has been,
launcher, but
One
you
of the
know,
bedrooms has been ripped out and is now a small lab.
Well, there are 4 bedrooms on the up to 4, so
Yeah.
you could have a
I
spare
have
lab.
to ask, why have the environmental settings been set so high in your room, Pendek? The humidity
Well.
must be intolerable.
Yes, I'm not in there all the time.
Whatever Pendek is up to in his hydroponics that he has swiftly installed on the Danube class runabout, we have been issued to fly back from our little science fair, little science meeting. We are en route. We are just kind of crossing like at a nod angle, so we're going to go through a bit of the Shakelton Expanse and come around to Narendra Station on the way. After we've been in the Shakelton Expanse for a couple of hours, the network of like survey probes that are out in the Shakelton relaying information back, they must sort of relay it through any ships that have using you like a buoy to sort of send information back. And as perhaps you're just monitoring data feeds and collecting stuff and moving things around as we go from one place to another, one of the data packets, whoever's watching it, flashes, and then every single one of the screens in the runabout goes black, and this Omega symbol flashes up. The engines power down.
Yes.
Right, what have you done?
We drop out
I
of
have
warp.
done nothing.
I was monitoring the feeds and we've dropped out of warp. The screens have all gone black and there's this Greek symbol on the screen.
So you were operating the systems and you would like to know what I have done.
Well, you're the one with all the technical expertise. Presumably you did. Pendek?
Yeah. I'm assuming I'm flying because I'm the one that actually has pilot small craft.
Fair. I also
think I might also have pilot small
I'm
crafts.
hoping
No, I
you're an
don't. Yeah, I guess you're
autopilot,
flying.
frankly.
Yeah,
I think you'll find I'm flying. Stop
Pendek, what
hitting
did
me
you
on the back
press?
of the head, Resh. I didn't do anything. I'm just flying. Listen, I'm not.
Well,
I'm
we're not
I-
flying.
I'm not crashing it like the other guy did.
Okay. Right. Computer, what does this mean?
Omega Directive has been activated, awaiting confirmation from a flag officer.
Computer, there are no flag officers on board this vessel.
Secure channel being established with Narendra Station. Stand by.
Why do we
See,
need a
it
flag
wasn't
officer?
me.
Why do we need? That's like a commodore. You need an officer that outranks a captain for this thing.
I recommend
Okay.
we await communication with our superiors. That is the Starfleet protocol.
But if
In
this
these
is a tactical thing,
circumstances-
it should be covered in my training.
Maybe this is above your pay grade.
So we sit there, holding station for a good 20, 30 minutes.
Do some scanning, you know.
No, because
No, everything's down.
Everything's
switched off. We can't
starting
even
to freak
scan.
out
Yeah.
slightly
Can
now.
we look out the window?
the space,
Hey, I'm scanning.
space
With your eyes.
around, space everywhere.
Can you see, Pendek?
I'm going to have a Costello moment.
What do your human eyes see, Pendek?
And we sit.
Trying to remember the music.
Having a Hamlet moment or a Costello moment?
That was it, a Hamlet moment. I'm not sure. One of the two. Do one after the other.
If anyone wants me, I'll be outside.
We sit for a good.
I'll go for a walk. Fuck it.
We just walk around, head off. Thankfully, like the replicators will still comply with like food and that kind of stuff.
Earl Grey tea cold.
Cold Earl Grey tea. Oh, you horrible Vulcan.
It would not be an option if it was not sensible.
What's that horrible Vulcan soup? Why don't you just have some of that?
Lomax soup.
Clomex soup.
Basically,
Ah, like mother used to hatch.
Beige water.
Nom,
Yeah.
nom, nom.
unspiced, nutrient-rich water is essentially what they make. Lomax
It's
soup.
the most logical of soup.
I do enjoy that episode where Neelix makes really spicy Plomex soup. And you just have Tuvok just being like, no. But yeah, we sit for 20, 30 minutes waiting for some sort of communication to come back, something to happen.
Can I get out my big book of Starfleet protocols and see if I can find this one?
Yeah,
So I wouldn't have left home without my signed copy of my Starfleet protocols.
or retro physical copy. This like
Yeah.
3 foot tall bound book.
It's massive. It's a massive ring binder
Oh yeah, it'd need to be a ring binder so you can
with lots of tabs.
unclip things and
quick
put things back
reference.
in. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
So what would this be? Let's have a look at where are we, Grelek?
It won't be in there though.
It may be. How can there be a Starfleet protocol if it is not in the Starfleet protocols?
Reason and command, perhaps.
Works for me.
And then obviously you've got your focus of Starfleet
Yep.
protocols.
Using my focus. Da 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 da. Whee! I got a success.
Okay. Leaf. There is no.
Oh, I remember this one. Oh, do you remember Protocol 31/2B? Good one, that one.
You go through the whole of the
Flick,
stuff,
flick.
everything, and you do not find the Omega Directive.
I do not believe this to be a Starfleet protocol.
It must be a Starfleet protocol because it's shut down the entire ship, and that requires
Oh,
command
this
level
is
coding.
hostile action.
Well, it's not hostile. Look out the window. There's nothing being hostile. However, since you have raised the subject, it is my duty as a tactical officer under Starfleet Directive 417/B2 to arm us.
To provide the needy with cheese.
Oh, damn it. Just put the damn phaser on. So I shall see to it that everybody gets a phaser 2 assigned and a tricorder, I guess, and some of those little wrist-mounted torch
Always. Oh,
things.
and the torches. Oh, I love them.
And as we're just handing Grelek the torch, and they are commenting on perhaps their expert the great function, how logical it is to put it, and all that kind of stuff.
Completely.
Yeah, how perfect it is.
Where else would you put a torch?
Well, between your eyes would be the most logical place, but an arm is also useful.
The system comes online, and it, I guess, as Resh and Grelek are both the same rank, aren't they? So no, they don't clear it out. So it's just Resh. They keep you both on the bridge, but they do ask you to send Pendek off the bridge if they're not already off and in.
Pendek, with the systems down, I feel you should check on your environmental controls.
Yeah, goes off to concoct some moonshine or something in the back of the Danube.
While you're back there, if you could get dinner ready, that'd be great.
No cake.
No, don't let Pendek cook.
No cake this time.
And once the security clearance level, whatever it is, I can't remember off the top of my head. Once the security clearance and that you approve the message or confirm on the console, and Admiral Herbert is on screen. She looks at you both and she says, "I apologize for a little bit of cloak and dagger here, but this is a very serious situation that's come up. Ordinarily, we would deal with this at captain levels or higher. However, given the situation here in the Shakelton, and the information that your ship has just received, we're using you as a special task force in this situation."
Understood, Mom. Can you tell us what the Omega Directive is?
Everything we're about to tell you cannot be shared with anybody. You must go through this with Pendek as well. The Omega particle is a very dangerous substance, and it has been decided by Starfleet should any of the Omega particles be found, they would be destroyed, and we will not facilitate the sharing of the data with anybody. One of the long-range probes that's come through the ship has found signs of the Omega particles not far from your location. We will need you to go, collect the probe, bring it back to Narendra Station. If that's not possible, destroy it.
And the probe now contains this Omega particle.
I've not had time to review the data that's come through. Whatever the probe has done to find it, we need to take the probe, stop the probe, prevent anybody else to acquire it. If it seems that the Omega particle is there, destroy it. I warn you to be very careful. This thing is incredibly, incredibly powerful. 1 ounce, one molecule of Omega could power a starship for, well, that would be it. But the capacity to use this as a weapon far exceeds its use in any other matter.
And what is the recommended procedure to destroy such a power source, Admiral?
I will transmit some data to you. Understand that you cannot transfer this data to any pads, displays, anything other than the ship.
Understood.
And yeah, you get like a feed, like a data packet being put in with the subspace. Time is of the essence here. I need you to get there before anybody else.
We'll set a course straight away, Mom. What's the consequences of the Omega particle? Is there anything we need to be aware of? What effect will it have on ship systems or personnel?
At the very least, it could destroy warp in the area. Personnel, you have to understand here, Resh, we've not been doing experimentation on such a volatile substance. We'd rather it... And she shakes her head, like, this is very much against Starfleet. Like, she doesn't, spirit of discovery, scientific unknown, and here she is saying, find this thing, don't find anything else about it, and possibly destroy it if you have to, kind of thing. The greater good of the area and Starfleet says, we can't handle this.
Understood, Mum.
Admiral,
If it has any interaction with the Shakelton Expanse itself, clearly that presents a problem. The area is difficult enough without something that could damage warp drive as well.
if it was to remove warp drive, that would set everyone back decades. Admiral, I must ask, is the Vulcan Science Academy aware of the Omega particle, and are they in accordance with your treatment of it?
She looks at you, she says, Grelek, in my long career within Starfleet, this is the first time I've enacted the Omega Directive. I have no idea what anybody else thinks about this because it is such high level clearance.
Understood, Mum. We're on mission, setting a course now.
Best speed.
How do you wish us to report when we finish?
Directly to me. Nobody else.
Understood.
Did he collect his bucket?
No.
Still no.
What's the Danube that we're on called?
I don't know. We haven't named it. You want to name it?
It's got to be after a river. Thames. Let's go with the Thames.
All right.
Why not?
Thames. Excellent.
Shuttle Thames. Message received and understood. Over and out.
Yep. And the screen winks for a moment back to the Omega sign and then back to normal systems. Like you hear like everything just go, ooh, that kind of noise in the background. You've got a location and a small data packet for the Omega particle.
Commander, I have the nav coordinates. Do you wish me to recall Pendek to the bridge?
Let's get Pendek back on the bridge and lay in a course.
I know he's down the
I'll
corridor.
finish-
Pendek to the bridge.
Finish my Hamlet moment. I
Pendek
should
to
come
the
back to
bridge.
the. I should come back to the bridge. God, I can't believe that only officers could hear that.
Mr.
We-
Pendek, we don't actually have enough rank to have heard that, so do not worry. However, I have been cleared to share with you this information. There is a type of rare particle that's been detected in the region. Our mission is now to find the probe that detected it and return it to Narendra Station, reporting directly to the Admiral.
Admirable.
She is admirable. We admire her.
We like
The
Admiral.
Admiral and nobody in between.
Oh wow, cool.
This is very, very classified.
Do we have like a little tractor beam on this runabout?
Yes,
We can tractor beam the.
but we're
we
only
can
going for the probe and we can
Either
use the
track beam or
transporter.
transporter the probe into the shuttle bay. That is absolutely fine. I have laid in the coordinates. If you would like to proceed at best speed, Mr.
I shall
Pendek,
proceed at best speed.
I will be analyzing the data packet as we travel.
Yeah. So we set off. It's going to take us about 6 hours to get to the last known location of the.
6 hours of science.
No.
Forbidden science.
So excite.
I mean, this will be most interesting.
Specs of the probe are included. Very little bit of information about the Omega particle is included. Stuff like that. And like associated updates to like since you went off to science club,
Science fair.
Klingon Science
Okay.
Club.
Can I just ask if we transport the probe onto the ship, or if we lock onto it with a tractor beam, might that damage the information about the particle?
No.
Do not believe
These
that would
probes
be
are
an
built
issue.
robustly to withstand the pressures of the Shakelton Expanse. If we can't pick one up with a transporter, we could pick this thing up by ramming it, to be honest. But we're not going to do that.
No, I don't think that would be very sensible at all.
We're going to reverse over it.
Just reverse over a probe.
How big's the
Incidentally,
probe?
Pendek, there's a tricorder, a phaser, and some of those wrist torch things.
Yeah. All right.
Ooh.
And I'm taking us to yellow alert.
Okay.
Everybody looks around. Is like, "Are you sure we need to do that? Just us."
Whoop.
Yes, I know it's just us, but the book says we do it this way. We do it this way.
If this is the protocol, then this is absolutely the right thing to do.
Resh is very by the book.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we set off.
This Resh, anyway.
This Resh.
Yeah.
Previous Reshes might not. We set
That's
off.
because you're in charge, Resh.
Right, she is. She's in the
She's
big chair.
feeling the strain. She's feeling the strain.
No, she's in the big chair now. She's got a secret mission.
Seriously,
Okay.
first command, go on a secret mission that's restricted to captain level and above only. Get it.
Not be able to tell anyone about it afterwards.
Except
Yeah,
the
but still.
admiral who gets to decide who gets promoted.
Why are you pro this person? Can't tell you.
Secrets.
We're going to anyway.
I'm the admiral, that's why. All right, so on this 6-hour trip, is there anything we want to do? Obviously, Grelek is going to consume delicious forbidden science.
Yes, science.
How about
I-
Resh and Pendek? Are you going to dive in and help out? Are you going to do anything else?
I am going to sleep for 5 hours.
That's a good plan.
I'm going to assume when we arrive at our location that there'll be hostile forces, and I'm going to plot evasive maneuver stratagems of how we could avoid being shot at.
Okay, you want to like create Pendek maneuver 12?
Pendek.
Basically,
Don't know
yeah.
what number you're up to.
Initiate the Pendek maneuver.
Sounds terrifying.
Yeah.
It's basically just reverse parking, but we don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Beep,
All right.
No,
beep.
no, it's not like that.
The
You see, the
shuttle
thing is, you
is
see,
reversing.
because when you actually look at the build of the ship has you've got the command section at the front, and then you've got the top bit, and then the cargo detaches, doesn't it? The
Top
whole
Yeah.
back ship.
The
Technically.
back part
Detaches.
detaches, yeah.
You don't need it at all.
Wait,
Right.
it does have the nacelles on it.
Oh, that's a bit short-sighted.
Just saying.
I didn't think it.
Oh,
needed it.
no, I'm looking at it right now. It does.
All right. So
Oh, well, I hadn't seen that bit, so when I blow it up as a
If we want to be anywhere, we want to be in the back bit and
Yeah,
fire the
please
front
do not
bit.
blow
at
up
whatever.
our warp capability.
okay.
so Pendak, do you want to do as you're plotting and going over the maneuverabilities, possibly looking through
I just want to see what the stress capabilities of the shuttle are,
Yeah.
to know what extent I can throw it about, without doing any structural damage.
all right, so this is definitely some sort of security role.
Okay, that's fine.
Are you doing it with like considerate and logical
I
thing?
think
Or you
it would
just
be
trying to-
daring.
Chuck it
I think
about.
Does it?
I think it would be do something that someone who was facing, the Federation wouldn't necessarily think he would do.
All
So
right.
I think it would be like
A
that.
daring role. Okay, yeah,
I think
right.
Daring.
Make a daring security roll. Difficulty 0.
Do I get to use my small craft?
Yeah, focus
as a
of small
focus?
craft, yeah.
Using focus. Yeah.
And then we'll see how much like momentum this might bank for us. Oof! 2 below our focus. We get 4 successes. So let's the right screen up our momentum, because that has just generated 4 for us. Unless you'd like to spend like maybe 2 of it to create a trait or an asset kind of thing for the ship that might benefit us.
What,
I
like
think
an
yes.
evasive maneuvers kind of thing.
Yeah.
I definitely think a trade. Perhaps we could do something with the, because I'm assuming it has some kind of a shield.
It has like I made the character sheet for it. It has shields of 2.
Okay. Could we do something like the shield? It's like it projects itself. So not literally like right next to it. So it looks like there's
like
something like that.
extend the shields without extending your power usage, or
Yeah. No, I mean, like if you were going to shoot at it.
You mean a decoy?
Yeah, that kind of thing. But something that would only, it would only last for like a second or something. It would literally buy you that split second.
We
As someone tried to
fool the
target you.
sensors into appearing to be beside ourselves.
you wanna
Yeah.
make like sensor ghosts or refract jig using the interference of the Shakelton to refract the
Modulate the
Yes.
shield such that it reflects the sensors and produces multiple images of the runabout. That's actually quite cunning, Pendek.
Yeah, I think that kind of, something that actually, obviously a big ship would just be like, no, you're there. but something just something that will buy us a bit of extra time just from being, pop, you're dead.
Right, so we create like this refracting shield trait, which will make the difficulty of anybody trying to shoot us higher.
Yeah.
We'll up their difficulty. Cool. And then you still get to bank 2 momentum.
Wicked.
So it's all good.
In the 6 hours of reading through the data packet, I know there's only scanty information about the Omega particle. Is there enough to calibrate the sensors to sensitize them to such a thing?
Yeah, there's definitely like this is what you're looking for info in there. You don't even have to like make a roll or anything like that. There is like there's really scant data going all the way back to Kirk. Like in fact,
Of course it does.
the Omega Directive was designed by Captain Kirk. Like initial sort of push for this directive was designed by him. Possibly, I don't know whether Grelick is like, yes, of course it was Kirk. You know, he only had one of the best Vulcan star science officers on ship. Of course it was Kirk. No, read this logic.
Yes, it was Kirk. We believe you.
But yeah, but given like the length of this directive's been in operation in the back of Starfleet, there's
I am
very
logically
small.
comforted by the fact that great minds have obviously had a part in this directive. And by great minds, I mean Spock.
Vulcan minds, yeah. Even though he was only a half Vulcan.
I imagine,
accepted
don't
into
they
the
claim
academy.
him quite significantly by this point in history because he's like a legend?
It's been
He is.
Ambassador Spock.
I know he's
all
in
over the
disfavor
spot.
at the minute because he's trying to reunify.
Reunification, yeah.
But there are those of us that still believe in Ambassador Spock.
By going to sleep, what I actually meant was I'm going to be having a chat through the bond with a previous life, and I'm going to be calling on the memory of Eleni Resh, who was a fighter pilot.
Ooh. Nice. So what is that?
To get me the focus small craft as well.
Cool.
Just in case we need a pilot and a medic.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Aside from the base data, do you want to, Grelick, do you want to make a difficulty 0 insight or reason science to go through the information contained here?
Reason and science. Yes, I would love to. Yes. And I got no successes.
It's
Wow.
all human to you.
It's all here. It's fine. Everything is here.
All right. So yeah, you go through it. It's, you know, there's maybe you're disappointed in the very little. Not
I
disappointed.
could re-roll that, actually.
Good.
I think technical expertise would let me re-roll at least one of those.
Yeah, you could re-roll, Ron.
I got
There
a
we
success.
go. We get a success. Get a success.
Computers. Me and computers. We're all good.
We're all friends in the end. Yeah. So basic kind of information in addition to the scant Omega particle information. The probe is one of the science division's newest probe. It's enacting a few suggestions after the Vija debacle. It's enacting a few suggestions that the science division has had for a while. One of which is to install a survey hologram on the ship. So should it on the probe, should it encounter anybody, rather than just a weird picture and some music, it's actually got something you can interact with and talk to. So it's got limited holographic capabilities and an emergency survey hologram on board.
It also plays soothing whale song.
Resh, we may be able to communicate with the probe. I'm not entirely sure this will be wise.
Well,
How long
let's
has the
see how
probe
things
been
go when we
going?
get there.
This one has been in service for about a year.
Okay. A very young probe.
Yeah, it's quite new. It's quite new to have the what am I saying? Have the emergency survey hologram on board. There are it is a very new thing. Probably
Emergency holograms are quite exciting and new.
Mm.
I've only ever seen one used in a test before, never in a sort of live fire situation, if you
Well,
like.
Potentially we will be able to converse with this survey probe. If we can bring it back to the ship, then we could have it talk to our emergency medical hologram.
Do the probes travel around, or are they located?
No, they're mobile, so they're normally sent they'll send some probes out, they'll get long range scans from that. The science lead at Narendra, Dr. Talafero, who's a Beta Z, she will then pick good spots to send probes. So they will go out to that point, gather a lot of data, get more long range scans, and then from this broad, vast amount of raw data, they'll go, shall we send the Aston out to that place? Shall we send the Akira, the Thunderchild, out to there? What about the we'll send the Mupwill out there because there's no science to be done, but they like to be kept busy.
There's no science, but plenty of punching.
So we know where this probe has been traveling from.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we've got all the probe data.
Yeah.
And once we get closer, we can get a live feed from it as well.
Yeah, you'll be able to log in.
So after about 5 hours of meditating, resting, having a chat with the former self, I'll come back onto the bridge and get an update from Grelek so I know where we stand.
I'm sure he relays that.
Just relay the information we already have.
And there's a science emergency survey hologram on board. Quite interesting.
Please state the nature of the surveying emergency.
Please state the nature of the survey inquiry. Probably more what they ask.
What colour uniform does it wear?
A blue one. The science division.
That is one of my favourite episodes when they activate the emergency command hologram.
And he changes shirt.
And it's just the same guy in a red uniform.
Mm-hmm.
So Pendek will be shuffling around in his pilot seat, looking over every time Resh and Grelek stop talking to wait till a moment to look at Resh with a big "I've just done something" smile on my face.
Oh no!
What have you got for me, Pendek?
Captain Resh.
What is it?
Look at this. I'm going to hit the Pendek maneuver button, and it'll bring up like a it won't do the actual thing, but it'll bring up what's it called?
A little animation of it.
Yeah, of what? Yeah, like when it runs through something, like a projection of what it'll do.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a tactically sound maneuver that he's designed?
I mean, it'll, for a short period of time, make any other vessels struggle to target you. It's quite an ingenious use of the Shakelton interference, to be honest.
That is pretty clever, Mr. Pendek. I like it. What gave you... No, don't tell me what gave you the idea. That's probably not something I need to know. But good thinking.
Well, actually, I was admiring Grelek's eyebrows and just how many of them he had. And it just popped into my head.
Now, the sensor spoofing is a good plan. We can relay this information. After debriefing from this mission, we may potentially be able to use that as a reason to relay this information to other ships in the fleet that they could then subsequently use as well.
I think the issue there is that once it's become a Starfleet tactic, it will be phased out. In the sense that all other ships will then know this is something that'll happen.
It's like fighting the Borg. And she pauses wistfully for a moment. You only get a certain number of shots on any kind of tactical maneuver.
Yes.
And we're going to be using it first. So
I think you're absolutely right.
Let's see if we can make the most of it.
To our benefit.
Okay, bring us out of warp. Raise shields, red alert.
We drop out of warp. Shields go up. And we are near the location of where the probe's last trajectory came in. What we see is small system, multiple planets with a couple of moons each, and a big an ice belt orbiting one of them, like a big rings of ice through around one of them. And the last data for this probe is in this system. What we also see is, or it comes up on sensors, because it too has an energy signature that is considerable. I'll show you a picture now. Something we've never encountered before. So we have this big old, looks like crystal glass, multi-plates, strange luminescent.
Science!
Yeah, strange luminescence coming from the middle of it. And that is also moving like with purpose rather than a drift. So you gather it's some sort of vessel, some kind.
I will begin scanning and storing of the data into a partitioned portion of the computer cores.
Yeah, so we start collecting.
Excellent. While you're at it, see if you can monitor subspace, see if there's any kind of distortions or disruptions going on in subspace in this region. That'll lead us to our culprit. Mr. Pendek, if you can keep us to half impulse where possible, allow time for maneuvering.
Okay. I have constantly watching, which means if I attempt to detect danger or hidden enemies, then it gets easier.
Ooh, okay. It's just
So I will not focus on the vessel. I will just focus on. I'll not focus on the big starry thing. I'll just focus on no, on like Klingon signatures or Romulan signatures or some, that kind of thing. Things I know.
Sure. Okay. Yeah. So constantly watching will. Constantly watching when attempting to detect danger or hidden enemies, reduce the difficulty by 1. So yeah, I guess it's going to be a difficulty 0 test.
Yes.
I think it would be some sort of reason and security. Might go for insight if you're.
Let's go insight.
You're going to suggest reason or insight security. One of them is logical and methodical, and the other one is just vastly throwing things, whatever.
Dice pool, complication range. Not using any of the other things. Oh, I'm not using focus, not using blah, blah, blah. So no, dice pool is 2. Okay, so you just roll the dice and it's difficulty 9, isn't it?
Difficulty 0.
That's
so
fine.
we get 2 momentum from here. So that puts us up to 5. I will tell you.
Does it not take us higher because of that too?
Well, because it was difficulty 1, you've got difficulty 0 even. You've got 2 successes over the 0.
I mean, I'm not going to complain about that.
Yeah, so you get 5 momentum.
I'm just trying to get my head around the rules.
Yeah, it's a bit of a wonky way of thinking when you're used to other systems. But yeah, so difficulty 0 means we bank 2 momentum and we nothing comes up on sensors. If you want to ask further questions, obtain more information, you're welcome to spend some
I'll merely inform Grelek that there doesn't appear to be any of our standard enemies in the vicinity. So
excellent. That is good data. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to jump on tactical and do a threat analysis.
Is the probe where we expect it to be?
You haven't picked up any signals, like no sort of standard Starfleet handshake has happened when you entered vicinity. So you
Almost
could
like it's inside that big crystal thing.
No, that would be incredibly unlikely.
like you can do some sort of active scan, but that obviously is something active rather than passive, has the risk of letting folks know you're here. Or you can advance further into system, maybe go straight for where you think it might have been. like its last point and extrapolate out.
Can you detect the debris if there is any?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You haven't done any like active scans in this nature that might alert the other. Yeah, everything's been pretty.
Go for it, Grelic. Do an active scan. This is our probe.
Yes, Commander.
We're not in the wrong here looking for a piece of technology that belongs to us.
I will commence scanning.
All right.
Ping!
So this is gonna be with all the Shakelton interference is gonna be difficulty 2.
Ping!
We are gonna. What is it gonna be? Insight science.
Yeah, that's what it tends to be.
Yeah, and then if you get any successes, the ship's computers can also help you.
Yes, and I have my
Remember.
technical expertise, so I can re-roll a d20 if it goes. And I have a focus in sensors, which is incredibly useful.
Those lovely.
Sensors. So let's. Whoa! Look at
Oof.
that. And I can re-roll one of those.
Reroll that 18 then, yeah.
Yeah, why not?
Might as well, if you've got it.
There
Smoke
we
it
go.
if you got them.
Three
Three,
successes.
and-
And for the runabout?
Would do sensors, sensors science.
Yep.
I was gonna do a challenge. No, I'm not doing a challenge. I'm doing a task. There's 1 dice. Nope, ship's rubbish.
Oh.
It's no intrepid class Pathfinder reconnaissance. I'll say that.
Bless him, he's trying.
Yes. I do not believe this runabout was built for proper scientific missions. We should have brought the sensor pod.
All right. So here we're going to get into a situation where we have too much momentum from this task to bank, because we generated. What did we get? 3 successes.
You're gonna need to ask some more questions.
I would like to know many things.
Yeah. So yeah. So what are we going to ask?
So we're scanning for the debris or traces of the probe.
Straight up, there is no like we're scanning for things like the titanium trially polymers or whatever
Rare elements, dilithium traces,
that
all
would
that
be
good
used
stuff.
in the construction of the ship. You're not finding like any debris that contains that.
We presumably have the sort of friend or foe code for the probe.
Yeah.
So we'll start throwing that out and seeing if we get any response.
You get no response.
Okay.
Would there be some kind of so if you're transmitting a signal, okay, the signal will pulse out. So if you then arrived after the signal had stopped, you should be able to trace how far away the signal is, and then come back to say when the last time the signal was produced.
Triangulating the signal.
Yeah, it's a concept of a signal shell, but that way you have to keep finding the next edge.
And you're basically running around going dong 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 dong. Here we are. Here we are. Here we are. It would kind of negate your super cool shield stealth.
No. So when the probe sent out a pulse, that pulse is getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah.
Yes.
So if you can detect the edge of that pulse that's getting bigger and bigger, you can work backwards to where the center point was. And that
as long as the probe weren't, say, inside that giant crystalline spaceship.
But the point is you could come back to the point when it last sent the signal.
Yeah. Well, we've got that. That's where we came to.
Yeah.
That was where we came to. The point where the last signal was dropped is where we dropped out of warp. Because that's where the detection of the Omega particle happened.
So we're pretty happy it's inside the crystal.
We know where it should be, and it's not here. So I would then, Grelic would then switch to, with a look to Resh, will commence active scanning of the unknown entity.
All right.
And then
Well, that sounds more like a tactical job. Let me run that.
Oh, we still got a bit of momentum from this one if we want to.
Oh, okay. You still got momentum. You roll with it.
Yeah.
My sensors have locked on and are more than competent. Thank you,
All
Commander.
Right. So this is
shoot stuff.
This is a strange thing. It is some sort of crystal structure. seems to be in places filled with liquid. It has an odd power source, and strong electromagnetic energy refracting around inside its center. That like spiky bit in the middle.
Does it seem to have a propulsion facility?
It does. Possibly. It is. It's not a system nor a way of propulsion that is common or used much. And in fact, the most you've kind of references it was a thing that was encountered a long time ago. By long time ago, I mean like early season 1 of TNG. Similar to the crystalline entity with which that moved through systems. However, this seems more focused. It doesn't have like the same structure, and the longer you keep your sensors on it, the more it seems like within this are multiple smaller versions of the external. Like it's a ship with...
Commander Resh, I believe we have a problem.
It's moving under its own power, isn't it?
It is a ship
Yep.
with what could be considered to be life forms within it.
Okay, well, we're Starfleet. This is literally our job.
Yes, first
Explore
directive,
strange new worlds.
but not blowing up.
No,
Just
we start
clear.
with communication.
Fresh's best day. Secret mission first contact is ace.
If he gets to fire the torpedoes, it'll be the best day.
Trip ever.
Right, let's start with hailing frequencies.
The probe, you know, the particle that the probe detected.
Yeah.
Is this what the probe detected?
This ship?
I have a horrible suspicion that the propulsion system in that ship may well be an Omega particle propulsion system. We were told, weren't we, that the Omega particle can power a ship.
So,
if this thing is an Omega drive ship.
But so you should be, can you detect that? Do you have enough information from the probe?
With the information we've got on the Omega particle, only Grelek would be able to detect that.
Fortunately, it is not. You do detect small signs of the Omega particle, small readings within the ice belt nearby. Rather than in the ship.
I am sorry to disappoint. The fascinating first contact scenario is not the Omega particle.
That's good. That's very good. That means that we can rationalize the prime and second directives with the Omega Directive, which otherwise would bring it into conflict.
Yes, this was my concern. There remains the question of where is our probe?
Yeah, well, let's try communication with them to start with.
Hailing frequencies open.
Right. Boobly beep. And what do we say?
Greetings, unknown vessel. This is Lieutenant Commander Resh of the Danube ship Thames. We notice that you are a species we've not encountered before, and it is our way to make contact with spacefaring species for the purpose of sharing information and cultural knowledge.
We come in peace.
Come in peace.
No torpedoes.
Do we just do audio, or do we broadcast like visual as well? Do we, all frequencies?
It's probably on screen, isn't it?
On screen, we're Starfleet.
I'm just checking. You might want to just asking. All right. So there is a moment or so.
I have the full cultural package ready for transmission, sir.
Yeah.
Including
I will make sure the ship is in motion. So I'll move towards the ice belt, but as in sideways, but just to make sure the ship is not stationary as we're in contact.
Okay.
This guy's got some maneuvers.
Got some.
Well, if you're not sitting there whilst people are distracted and you're maneuvering, just even a straight line motion
Moves like Pendek.
Actually, Grellick, what you could do is if you could track the expected parabolic transit curves of the probe and then match it to the precession of this ship, we can see if there was a likelihood of interaction and run a percentage on how likely it is that the probe is within their vessel.
Indeed, Commander. And after that, I will teach your grandmother how to consume her ovid.
Pendek's like, what? Is it what? That's not how it goes. So while Grelek turns over to the science station, plugs in some details, there is a response. It comes back. And the view screen at first is filled with like bright refracted light. And now like the systems adjust, like the white balance and all kinds of stuff goes on, brings it into a spectrum. And there's this strange looking creature on screen. Doesn't appear to have like the standard humanoid head, arms, torso kind of thing.
Does it look like a Tholian?
I don't know what a Tholian looks like.
Tholians are these weird sort of insectoid, superheated.
Oh, I do know what a Tholian looks like. Yes,
crystalline, angular shaped
this
alien things.
yeah.
This looks like
A magma locust.
No, it definitely doesn't. No, it doesn't look like a Tholian. It looks like it's glowing from within. It has strange, or not strange, but very straight, angular crystal plates sort of floating with it. Almost like the light that's glowing from it is some sort of liquid. It's sort of almost like kind of rhythmically moves. There is a brief moment where it's almost like, you know, where you maybe strike some crystals and there's this like variance of harmonics that go out, and it makes this noise for a few moments until the universal translator kind of kicks in, and it kicks in as it's saying, Zora Nell, your projection appears to be similar to the individual we have on board. You wish to meet with them?
Indeed, we do. That's exactly what we're here for. The projection that you speak of comes from one of our detection probes. We've been sent to find out what's happened to it.
Oh, I understand you seek the welfare and safety of your citizen. Yes, they are well, although a little disturbed. We have tried to converse with them greatly, but they will seem uncertain of what to do next. Please
Understandable.
Please transmit your environmental requirements. We can make you feel very comfortable.
Go for it, Grellick. Transmit environmental codes.
So yeah, the...
Oh, sorry. Transmit Andorian environmental codes.
Just Andorian, just to make sure everybody's nice and chill.
Andorian because I grew up on Andor, and then it gives them a slightly false set of expectations on what we're capable of.
Oh, already we're doing like psyops.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do not understand.
Does anyone need to remain on this ship, Captain?
At this stage, Pendek, quite possibly. It may be that you need to continue the mission if we're unable to retrieve the probe.
I think me remaining on board this vessel is perhaps a wise option.
First contact, Pendek.
If I maneuver the vessel closer to the ice belt, I can potentially recreate the readings, the findings from the probe.
Okay, you do that then. Grellick, I'm not going to order you to accompany. Your choice. First contact or a megaparticle?
I do not see why we cannot satisfy both. especially if first contact also regains us the probe, which is the other part of our Omega Directive. We cannot let that information fall into anyone else's hands.
Very good. You're with me then. Mr. Pendek, passive scans only. Don't look threatening.
Please maintain a transporter lock on our comm signal.
Okay.
Sure, we're keeping our comms
Good
signal.
luck, Captain.
He's going places, this Pendek.
Like, I could get used to that. Sounds good, Captain Resh. I'm loving it.
Live long and prosper.
It'll be a good stepping stone towards Admiral Resh.
Admiral Resh. Okay. All right, season 3, Star Trek Endurance, Admiral Resh. Because we all know there's a war coming up. We know this.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, yeah, just throw admirals around at that point.
Yeah.
Well, after they lose the whole first bunch of them,
Yeah.
they'll need some new
Need
ones.
some extra ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so we send some environmentals over so that this strange species can accommodate us. We get ourselves some phasers, some tricorders, establish an active communicator lock, open comms with Pendek, and they send back some coordinates within this crystalline structure to beam to join, kind of thing. Actually, would they? I mean, I think what? Yeah, no, they have a they provide you with coordinates to arrive at. We head over. We materialize in a chilly but spacious looking room, surrounded by semi-transparent crystals. You can see in between the layer of crystals almost like a fluid moving through the floor, but there's a slightly disconcerting moment where you can almost see like space below you. It's like walking over transparent aluminium Scotty invented and went back in time and reinvented.
And which does actually exist now for realsies.
Oh, it's cool, isn't it? But yeah, it's slightly disconcerting. After a moment, there is like a shift in the light, and it's hard to tell whether they too have beamed into the room, or the way the crystals of this room have changed have allowed it to move from one location to another. But you're reasonably sure this crystalline entity, this thing that's arrived, is the one you saw on the view screen. And after a moment, they drift towards where you're stood. And greetings again. Thought Leader Zoranel welcomes you aboard this vessel.
Thought Leader, I'm Lieutenant Commander Elonwi Resh. This is Lieutenant Commander Grelek.
I'm already scanning.
Yeah. Biddly beep, biddly widdly beep.
It's our great pleasure to meet you today. Our culture values the contact with alien species very highly.
Excellent. Our ship has told me you are not the same composition as your other member. Tell me, are you a Gestalt race? Are you all different in composition?
We are carbon-based life forms. You appear to be silicate, potentially, in origin. Our companion that you speak of is a hard-light holographic artificial intelligence organism.
Yes, a photonic life form. We've just spoken greatly with them. They've told us of the... And you can see that they're thinking for a moment. The Federation. Starfleet.
That's right, yes.
They do not present like either of you. Curious.
They are a simpler form of life than either of us, and probably based on a template from one of our other Federation species known as humans.
Interesting. They are displaying what other members of my crew have described as distress and upset at some recent findings. They will not share with us the nature of the findings, only a dilemma caused by their discovery.
Understandable. If we could speak with them, we may be able to put their fears aside.
I am an expert with such systems and conversations.
Yes, I believe we can make them available to you. Let me consult and see if they wish to speak. And they like drift backwards from you. There's this blinding light for a moment.
Scanning, desperately scanning.
Sure, yeah.
everything.
Make a insight science roll.
Insight science.
Difficulty 1, just a generic difficulty 1.
Well, I got one.
You got one? So they
Is there a roll I can make to see if I remember to bring sunglasses?
Sun cream.
How many groats for sunglasses?
So this being, this entity, this life form appears to be in several states of like liquid and glass and crystal. Around the outside is more crystal. At its heart, it is liquid. There's also a strange bead of metal within the very center of it.
I just realized that by telling them our environmental situation is Andorian, everyone except for the Andorians that meets them in the future is just going to be cold.
Yep.
Yeah. We've calibrated our facilities for your environmental standard Starfleet.
As recommended.
So yeah, they have like a crystalline structure. It's curious. You think some things about it. I've just remembered we're playing Star Trek and obtain information is a thing. Yeah, they're a crystalline structure. This one seems to be like more solid, and almost of like a similar kind of refraction level as the ship around it.
Yeah, I was going to ask, given they seem to potentially phase through the wall, are they of the same material as the ship? Are they a manifestation of some other form of consciousness?
There's very definite differences between the entity and the ship. Almost, but I guess it's like the difference between Plomex soup your mother made and Plomex soup your sister makes. Like slight variations to make them individual enough, but not enough. Does that must make sense.
To be totally different.
Oh, Grelek, there's enough papers here to keep you in business with the Science Academy for the next 50 years.
Yes. That will be most useful for the wider science community.
So after we've had a bit of a realization, the light is blinding for a moment, and the same entity drifts in, and almost like on its own wave of water, like a controlled sort of puddle, lifting the probe, which is not an inconsiderable thing. This moves along, and walking behind them both, you see the emergency survey hologram, which I am led to believe is a human lady. It's not a doctor.
Oh, it's not.
It's not. It's a she, according to this.
I feel like we've been robbed of Robert Picardo.
I know. We just have to get more of him on the ship. We have to activate it at every last opportunity.
Just to go for a chat.
Yeah, just have a chat.
Therapy.
And yeah, walking behind it is a human female in science uniform. She has her hands sort of clasped in front of her. She's wringing them a bit. What strikes you as interesting is she doesn't seem to be dependent upon the emitter Yeah, she seems to have.
Which makes sense given the nature of the ship, because they're using refracted light and crystal technologies. So being able to run the holographics through their entire ship probably gives her more freedom than she's used to, which would be quite distressing as well, I imagine.
Maybe. So she's following along. The entity says, we were unable to translate your associate's name. Forgive us, we have taken to calling her Cleft of Rock. She has agreed this is an acceptable name. We hope it's not caused offense with you.
None at all. Our photonic entities among the Federation are still very, very new to us. So we too have little recourse for names for them. So it's good that this one has an autonomous identity signifier.
If it smiled, it might, but it sparkles a little bit.
Scanning.
Yeah, it sparkles a little bit. It says, I will leave you to a reunion. Should you need us, we will not be far. And just drifts back off. And you can see like this survey hologram. It looks distressed. It looks like stressed. It's pacing a bit as it's waiting behind the entity. And
I'm just going to walk up to it and say, computer, activate emergency survey hologram.
And she looks up at you and she says, no, I'm already active.
I know, I was giving you an anchor.
I'm already active.
Yes.
The Calmirans found us, me and the probe. We were. Oh no.
Don't worry, we're aware. The Admiral has sent us with a full brief on the situation and the issue at hand. We are aware of the problem and are here to resolve it.
Resolve it. You can't resolve it. No, I can't give you this data. It's too precious, too dangerous. No.
The directive has already been explained.
No. The directive hasn't been explained. We were survey holograms are not designed for this situation. We would not. This protocol was not coded into what's happening. This is no bad.
Understood.
And she begins,
Pause.
like,
stop.
Can I open up the probe itself?
Yeah, you want to go over there
And attempt to interface with the computer systems?
Sure. What are you up to, Pendek?
So I will slide my ship slightly towards the ice belt, and I will basically do a passive scan to try and replicate the information that we received about the Omega particle.
Sure.
Traces of.
Are you like trying to fly casual? Is that what you're doing here?
It looked like you're trying to fly casual.
Oh, I don't think I can fly any other way other than casual or combat.
Okay.
It's one of the two, isn't it? It's either we're going to kill each other or I'm flying casual.
All right. Let's have a some sort of con roll. Let's see how we subtly do this. I think it would be control and con.
Yeah, go for it.
Difficulty 1, just standard difficulty 1.
Do I get to use small craft?
Of course you do. Yeah, you got your focus. Yeah. Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely not a big craft. It's a little Danube.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, there we go. Okay, yeah. So we casually slide, like almost like we're still pointing the front of the vessel at front of the Thames at this odd crystal vessel. Slide it around, so we're positioned between it and the ice belt as much as you can, and then we begin like setting off the sensors and things to try and work out what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Would you like to make another roll? I think this is going to be definitely some sort of science roll. What do you think?
Yeah, I can go with science.
Science and
insight.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah. Difficulty 2 because of the Shakelton
Uh,
interference.
Okay. Ooh. Yeah. Oh, if you and then if you use so we've got right, perform task. Okay. Roll dice.
Ooh, there we go.
Okay. So can I use untapped potential?
I don't know. What does untapped potential say?
So all right. I'm not sure how you do it. So
So
untapped
you
potential
didn't.
means if I use. So I've succeeded.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
if
you
I use
haven't
momentum.
bought any momentum to add dice to it. You just rolled your basic dice. Does that make sense?
Right. But I can't use momentum that we've already got.
So what untapped potential is, you have to buy dice before you make the roll. So it's normally
Okay.
you know, where we buy an extra dice or an extra 2 more dice.
Okay. Well, I'll just re-roll it then, because
Okay.
I'll buy a dice, because then I can add D6 instead of just 1.
It's a challenge dice, so it depends on if you roll effects. So it won't.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The,
Okay.
you know, the fancy dice with the little insignia on. So it might
Okay,
be that you get none. It might be that you get 2 or 3 more.
Okay. So how do you add a challenge dice?
So what are you trying to do? We're gonna ignore that roll and do it again. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. I'll do
All right.
that.
So we're gonna delete that one. So we're gonna do the sensors, and no, what is it?
So
What
we do science, insight.
Yeah, and then we're gonna spend a momentum to gain an extra dice. So we're gonna roll 3
Yes.
dice. Oh no.
Okay. So do I perform task or do I do perform challenge?
So we're gonna perform the task first.
I perform the task first.
Yeah.
All right. And I scroll up to 3 dice. Right. Fine.
Yeah.
Right. Then I roll my dice.
You get 3 successes, and then we're gonna do a challenge. We're gonna roll 1 challenge dice.
Perform challenge. Number of dice in pool 1. Roll dice.
All right. So we got no effects on that, so you don't get any extra momentum. That makes sense.
Oh.
Challenge dice are never your friend.
Oh.
However,
Yeah.
we did do better on this take around when we got the things we wanted.
Got 3 successes.
So we got an extra momentum over. So we're equal. We didn't waste anything, but we didn't lose anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
But so does that now mean I can? So basically, I can spend momentum to find out more information.
Yes. So we were what were we originally scanning? We were trying to find a mega particle in the ice belt, weren't we?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we detect faint signs of omega particles within the ice belt. What else would you like to know?
So is there anything else that is so apart from ice? So if I detect the particle, do I detect anything else? If I detect another particle, do I detect anything else? So like, is the particle in something, or what other things are associated with the particles?
No, the particles don't seem to be like embedded. It's not like the protomolecule embedded in ice or anything like that. These seem to be free floating in the ice belt. You think
protomolecule in Star Trek?
I know, terrifying, eh? Actually, no. I think Starfleet would have it.
Yeah, to be fair.
Containment fields, like the best scientists around.
Yeah.
In the mirror universe, it would be terrifying.
Yeah.
That would be terrifying.
Because they'd try and weaponize it. They'd be like protomolecule torpedoes that they'd fire at people's planets.
Okay.
It is only logical.
Yes.
Right. And can I detect any trait? I'm just trying to think. Obviously, it hasn't always been here.
No.
So it must have come here from somewhere. So is there any way to trace?
Or like it's drift or something.
Or where it's come from, or that kind of thing.
It seems to have very slowly drifted to this area from far outside the system. You get a good reading on it, but it's nowhere. It's not coming from a facility, or nobody's making it locally.
And it's not like a crystalline particle at all.
No, it's like a teeny tiny omega, thing.
Teeny tiny thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
The omega molecule is actually a lot more wobbly than crystalline. It looks more like an organic molecule than a crystal one.
Yeah.
The
Fascinating.
structure is The structure is apparently closer to a covalently bonded thing than an ionically bonded crystalline structure.
So botanics would be quite a good thing to have studied to
Oh Christ!
a bit of trade farming going on here. I think
Too small.
Too small.
Too small.
Maybe
Well,
if you.
it's too small.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
you'd be looking for molecular chemistry for it to actually hold any sway over this stuff.
Right?
Really
Can I just tell you your lack of understanding of how deep botany is?
No, please tell me about my lack of understanding of chemistry.
I can't because my lack of understanding is true. My entire life is based on principles.
Now, the omega molecule, if I recall correctly, sits on that boundary line between chemistry and physics.
Okay.
So it's very, very small. The chemistry biology line sits all the way over there, and the biology physics line is up there.
Right. So we were just sent to get the information about it, not to try and get it.
Oh no, we were told to destroy it.
Mm-hmm. If possible.
Or you were told to destroy it. You never gave me that information.
That's true. Well, that's because you're not supposed to be like going off and doing dangerous stuff
anything
yet.
with it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if you know where it is, that's brilliant. Now we can like zoom in and fire micro torpedoes. Pew pew pew.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a pity you didn't tell me the whole we're going to try and destroy them bit.
It's not a pity.
Okay.
It is because he's going to teleport it onto the runabout.
Because I'm going to teleport onto the runabout.
Oh God, you're going to try and run omega particles through a transporter.
Yeah.
Well,
There's no way that ends badly.
To be honest, I doubt I would actually try and put it through the transporter because that would be a huge amount of energy.
So you're going to track to beam it.
So actually, I'm more likely to just get in an EVA suit and go and get it.
Or reverse park over it.
Gonna EVA because obviously he's got a focus in EVA, so he's gonna use it.
Love the idea of reverse parking over it.
Yeah, I'm just going to go and get it.
Beep, beep. Got some.
Got his little jar. He's gonna go out and scoop it up. All right.
Yeah.
So
We'll turn up with a
frog
traumatized
spawn.
probe.
yeah. So
Cancelled it.
as we
I can't go and get it because I basically have to be on the ship in case Resh or Grelek needs me.
I mean,
Yeah.
I can't abandon my
I hope
captain.
you're maintaining transporter lock while you're just
Yes,
joyriding around the ice belt.
That's why I'm not doing anything particularly stupid.
computer, maintain a sensor lock on Resh and Grelek. I'm going for a walk. Understood? Yeah.
This is not advisable.
I maybe sometime.
No, I'm not going to go for a walk. Just because I've got EVA doesn't mean I'm going to go for a walk. I monitored it and I'm now focused on the signals of these two.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether Grelek will have actually given me the information of the probe signature.
I mean, it's probably there in the systems. We'll have had enough data to do your job.
So would I be able to lock onto the probe as well?
The probe is on this strange ship.
But if I've got a transporter lock on the two people,
We need some of those big pencil things.
yeah,
the
you'd
big
probably need a
Crayola
pattern
things.
pattern enhancer.
Pattern enhancers, yeah.
Or
Did
for
they
them
take
to
any?
let us take it.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
that one.
So while Pendek is looking wistfully at the EVA suits, like, maybe kicking his boots off, thinking about it.
how long can I resist?
Yeah, seeing his homemade socks. Grelek, you're trying to interface with the probe.
Yes.
All right.
I feel like just disclosure and buying myself some humanity. For those of you watching on Twitch or YouTube, I feel like Grelek is about to do something that Aldun doesn't like. But let's go with it.
Okay. Not sure. But we'll find out. So you're gonna. I mean, you go over there. It does the sort of like Starfleet Bluetooth connection kind of thing. Like it's all made on the same things. We don't have to spend ages pairing our tricorder with the probe. It'll do it.
Connecting.
Yeah.
Dropped connection.
Stand to the left a bit. Switch.
I'm Vulcan and have no emotion.
Resh, switch your Bluetooth off so I can get my Bluetooth on.
Yo, it's paired with yours. That's the problem.
Yeah. Have you got a pencil? Anyway yeah.
I'd like to start running basic diagnostics.
Okay. Basic diagnostics, yeah, is not a problem. Let's make a I don't know, insight and science difficulty 0, and then we can ask more questions with our momentum.
Okay, good. I have computer expertise, so I'd like to add an additional D20 to my dice pool, please.
No problem.
I don't think I have any foci in this thing.
No?
This astropsychiatry comes in handy.
No.
No.
This time.
No.
Oof. Did you re-roll anything?
No. Tasks involves the ship's computers or sensors. I can re-roll.
Definitely not your ships.
So, nope.
All right, so we get 1. Taking our momentum pool up to 5. You can see there is a lot of data in here, a lot of like Shakelton data. When it comes to the data you're looking for, like you want to find the Omega particles and that kind of thing.
No, well, at this point, I actually want to run diagnostics on the systems of the probe. I don't really want to dig into its data because the manifestation of the probe is exhibiting symptoms.
Yeah, these things shouldn't have anxiety.
Non-logical and beyond what I would expect from its operating characteristics.
Yeah, the interesting thing is that you're running diagnostics on its propulsion, its communications, its data storage, and everything is running fine, and it looks the emergency survey hologram is not running locally. It's been transferred.
Okay. There you go. Commander, the emergency survey hologram is running, I believe, on this ship's systems that may be causing these unexpected characteristics.
That would make sense. Emergency survey, cleft in the rock.
Yes. What is he doing? What is he touching? Why
He's
is
trying to run diagnostic to ascertain the health situation of your systems. You appear to be running remotely currently.
Yes, yeah. They have they're called Calmirans. They mostly at younger age exist entirely of light. They have this amazing ability to manipulate. No, different.
It's okay. Understandably exciting to meet other photonic entities.
But they found that if I was only running within the probe, I had no access to any other parts of the vessel. The vessel is alive as well. The vessel is an older, technically dead Calmiran, that transformed to allow deeper spaceflight. There are vessels of this kind roaming the Shakelton Expanse with no crew. That is phenomenal.
That is an interesting life cycle development.
But
fascinating.
The ship has allowed my data, my program, to be stored on its mind. It's a curious situation. However,
it does appear to be affecting you somewhat.
I believe so, but also I shouldn't be carrying this data. When I was programmed back, they
no, of course you're not
had no
programmed
idea
for command level authorities.
And the directives that I've been asked to enact, I'm not programmed for this. I'm not programmed to make these decisions.
You're not equipped for this level of technology. Fortunately, our mission is to retrieve you and the probe and return you to, I've forgotten the name, Narendra Station.
No.
Where this information can be conducted at a higher level.
No, Resh, Lieutenant Commander, the directive will destroy the data. The data's part of my program. They'll destroy me.
Understood.
Cleft in rock, if it were possible to separate the data packet that is part of the directive from your main programming, would you still be operative?
Yes, but if I give the data to you. Who's to say that Starfleet will not? Somebody will. This is very dangerous. The protocol has required me to protect it, but also now I've.
Cleft in the Rock, you are arguably an autonomous identity at this time, and Starfleet regulations require that you receive the full benefits and protections thereof.
You constitute potentially a new life form and certainly a bridge to these new life forms that have given rise to your enhanced consciousness. I would not fear for your safety, Cleft and Rock.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Cleft and Rock, you realize the danger of the information that you carry.
Absolutely.
The danger that is represented is the problem we have been asked to resolve. Our means for resolving that do not have to be terminal to your existence.
We would be in contravention of our own protocols if they were.
We are Starfleet officers. Our mission is to seek out new life and new civilizations, while these calamari
Calmarian.
Elmarin.
represent one such life form, so too do you. You have exceeded the boundaries of your existing programming. It should not be possible for an emergency hologram to experience the sensation of anxiety and discomfort that you are showing. Your programming does not allow for it. You should show the emotional range of Lieutenant Commander Grelek.
she looks at Grellick. She goes, "You know, there was a consideration of making me Vulcan, but the
Not
science
surprised about that. It
division-
would probably be a sound decision to be made at a command level.
I am sorry that they made you human.
Well, I'm only in appearance. Do you know Calmarans can choose whether they appear as a crystal form or a liquid? Some of them
As
exist
a
purely as
photonic-
light.
As a photonic entity, purely you can choose whatever form you wish.
Well, I don't have the facilities here to alter my
Present.
programming in that
The
manner.
programming would be limited to appearing in the pre-programmed identity.
This is something that we could explore further with
It
other
is. I
scientists and photonic
suggest
specialists.
that the way forward for this Cleft in Rock is for you to eject the data core that contains the relevant information regarding the particle type, to purge data into a data core that we can take with us, and to transfer your program without that one small piece of data into the Calmarian vessel, to arrange a secondary meeting at Narendra Station between us and the Calmarians, using you potentially as a diplomatic bridge between the Federation and the Calmarians. There is a lot they can teach us about the Shakelton Expanse if they've been roaming the area, and there is a lot we can teach them about physical existence.
Yeah, she looks very like, this was not what I was programmed for kind of moment. That's a command program. I'm just a science division program.
For now, you may be a science division program, but you have the facility to evolve, adapt, and develop beyond your current parameters.
I am able to swap the data core we will be removing for one loaded with Starfleet protocol and diplomatic protocols, if that would be of use.
I think
Give you
so.
something to read on the way to the station.
I think extracting the data from my matrix, my program, might be a little bit more complicated than I anticipate. Now I've been uploaded to the vessel.
We are willing to try it if you are.
Can you keep a secret?
She
It
looks.
won't be a secret to keep if we can purge the information.
Yeah, she
No.
looks a bit like this is like a serious thing. We're essentially asking her if she would like to undergo brain surgery. Yeah.
It's surgery in return for autonomy, though.
I know.
Existence.
An existence. But she does need to. She like. This is more than. This is a bigger decision than my program has the logic matrix to handle. Would you
Understandable.
give me?
Maybe we should speak with the thought leader again and see if they can provide you with further bandwidth, storage space.
And almost like they've been listening. Because of course they have. Why wouldn't somebody listen to a conversation and you think? There is a flash, like a raise in lumens, and the thought leader drifts into the room.
What was the thought leader called again?
Zora Nell.
Zoranel.
Of the Calmiran ship Tolnarine.
What was her name again? Something Nell. I got that from
Zora.
Little.
Zora Nell.
Zora Nell.
Thought leader Zoranel.
Federation entity Resh.
We are presented with an unusual situation. Our people believe in the sanctity of life in all its forms. And it would appear that our photonic entity, the emergency survey hologram that you call Cleft in Rock, has begun to evolve beyond the programming capable of the substrate in which it is currently residing.
Go on.
There is information that we have been tasked to retrieve on behalf of our people. It is essential and dangerous, and we wish to complete our mission. However, it would appear that Cleft in Rock represents an opportunity for dialogue between our two peoples, yours photonic, ours biological. We would like to invite you to meet with our superiors at a place called Narendra Station, details of which can be found within the survey probe that you have on board your ship. However, in order for us to facilitate that, we require the data currently held by Cleft in Rock to be downloadable and removable, so that we can return that data for reasons of internal security to our station. I wish to request, if such a thing is possible, that you provide an alternative substrate for Cleft in the Rock to be able to upload, if that works within your parlance, for independence while we remove the relevant data for transport back to our people. We do not wish a burgeoning entity such as Cleft in Rock to suffer or face any kind of discomfort. We wish to encourage the growth and development of new life and to foster a link between our two peoples, which such a program offers better than anything any of us could possibly do. Would you be amenable to this exchange?
The thought leader glistens for a moment or so and says, interesting thoughts. I must commune with the vessel and the crew. If we are amenable, we will help. Certainly an unusual situation.
An interesting scientific proposal as well.
Indeed.
Science.
Science!
So while
I'm not licking the ship at all.
you can, I'm licking the crystal. It's like a lollipop. It's been like an ice lolly because it's Andorian settings in this room. It's so chilly. All right, so
Oh, you made it so cold. Damn you.
So, the thought leader is going to commune with the rest of the ship, which seems like she is just sort of sending sparkles, like a Christmas tree. It's beautiful.
Oh, sparkly.
Sparkles and strange harmonics.
Sparkles.
Pendek sees like the ship light up like a disco ball. And you can.
Wicked.
It looks brilliant, yeah. And you can almost see like the shadowy reflections of two people and a probe in one section where you know they are anyway, but you can almost see them like shadowy.
I like to think Pendex just looks down at the mug of whatever and goes, "Mm."
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta stop home brewing mushroom soup.
Did you refrain from EVA or
I'm not EVAing.
All right, so it seems like we've got two tasks at a similar pace, given how far we've come through. So we're going to complete some hologram brain surgery.
Going to partition the data cores and remove the pertinent core without doing any damage to the programming substrate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that, and then also we've got to explodorate the Omega particle and get out of dodge. Or our other ones.
Yep.
Our other job.
That. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, what are we going to try and do first?
Well, until someone tells me to destroy the particles, I won't know that's what I'm meant to do.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking that we do the proby bit and then we go back to the runabout and then we blow up the particle.
All right.
So it's more in sequence rather than in parallel.
So the other side of blowing up the particle then is, how are you going to break that to the Calmirans that they probably need to like get into warp and get out of dodge? Are we going to wait for Resh to come back? We're going to wait for
I
Ben
can't
and
remember if the Vulcans can lie.
I don't think technically they lie, but they just present the facts in a different
manner.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Spock did that quite often.
Yeah. Is that a bird?
No, it is a dinosaur descendant.
Yes.
All right.
Don't know, but yes, I think it's more. We get the whatnot. We go. You should continue on your way to the space station at best speed. We will join you there shortly when we have completed our survey mission. Pass off.
Run along, space weirdos.
Yep.
Okay. So, I was going to make it an extended task, but I think it's like they always come at the end of the session, which is late, and I don't think we've got time for chucking all them challenge dice and doing that. So, what we'll do is, this is definitely daring and science. Because this is like...
it could be worse.
Yeah, daring and...
There's me coming out the back of the shuttle. Use all 6 points of momentum, because we've got 8 at the minute.
Oh, we got extras from folks in the
We've been given 3 re-rolls, and we've got 5 in there.
Right.
So 6 points of momentum will get you 3 extra dice.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that will still leave us with 2 points of momentum in the pool.
All right.
What difficulty would it be? This. All right. Let's make it the same difficulty as the resistance. So let's call it 5. Difficulty 5. But you're going to take all the dice, get it down to 2.
So you've got 5 dice.
5 dice.
And you can use your re-roll thing. Have you got any determination?
Probably. I don't know.
Can I spend one of my points of determination to...
what value does it... Like, so what is Grelix values? Like...
Grelix values are: 1 must be mindful of the winds of change, remain cool and calm at all times. You might be kicking that one in. Persistence pays off, and the manual does not cover everything. That also seems pertinent.
Yeah.
You get
this is definitely not in the manual.
Yeah, this is... So if you use it in a way that honors it, so the manual definitely doesn't cover all situations here, there will be a complication in the long run to do with this action. If you I don't know, are you flapping a little bit? Maybe you're cool
No.
and calm. You could
No,
cross
I'm
that
cool
out.
and calm.
It wouldn't generate a complication. It would do other stuff. You'd have to write a new one.
I like being cool and calm.
Okay.
I'm going to remain cool and calm.
So if you want to use a value, you're very welcome to. That'll get you a success straight up.
Go on, let's do that.
All right, which one are you honoring or challenging?
I'm honouring the manual does not cover everything.
All right. So that's going to get you 1 success straight
As
up.
already proved by the fact of going through the Starfleet protocols and the Omega Directive is not
You
in
did
there.
read the manual on the way.
You did check the book, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. And so yeah, we've got 1 success, but we still need 4 more.
Okay, so I'm burning many dice.
Mm-hmm.
Ah!
So your dice pool 5.
It is with 1 success. I can reroll 1 of them.
You're up to 2.
Nope.
I think Resh could roll 1 dice and assist if they've got. What would that be?
You're way out.
So many dice.
Yeah.
Most of mine is punching things.
No, but you could like the ship can assist you. Resh
True.
can assist Grelek. So is Resh stood there with the tricorder on the go and like
I am absolutely on standby to help. Values that may be useful here. I have ask forgiveness, not permission, and crew is family.
no, but I mean you could literally just make a computers. Well, no, it wouldn't be computers.
Like a roll.
Yeah, so you could make like a reason and engineering, or because that kind of stuff.
Science.
Reason and science.
Is
Yeah.
there a command role I can make to make Grelek do better?
Work harder.
Presence
Damn you.
and presence and command. Is that what you're trying to like? You're like no, okay. You've got this.
Oversight,
Yeah.
pep talk. Can I use that to grant
Sure, yeah,
extra
just-
successes instead?
But because you're assisting, you can only roll 1 dice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if I click perform task, or do I do perform challenge?
It would be a task, but only 1 dice.
Number of dice in pool. Oh,
Okay. So
You guys are useless.
Yeah,
we really
suck.
have sucked on
We
our
suck.
dice rolls.
it's a
We were
very
doing so well.
I have so many dice.
it's a
and just
very
like-
difficult thing, and I think what we'll do is like succeed with cost. So we think everything has gone according to plan. We're not quite sure if we've done any long
damage.
to Cleft of the Rock, or
Have you convinced the entities to travel to meet
Yeah,
at the
yeah.
space station?
They're
We
thinking
believe
about
so,
it.
yes.
So if you've convinced them to do that, then even if you haven't successfully done that, what you're doing, as soon as they get back there, then it can happen there, can't it?
Mhm.
Better people than us can have another
Mm.
go.
So I think perhaps your success is in the fact that actually we can't do that here, but you've explained to the entity that this life form is actually just as important as everything else.
No, I think they're
Yeah.
fine with the life form. We're not fine with them having the data,
Yeah.
But they haven't got the data.
and neither is Starfleet. The data
but they
is on
haven't.
the probe.
Yes.
So we've effectively partitioned the data,
Yeah.
maybe, but not fully scrubbed it.
Yeah. But you've actually convinced them to go and meet at
Yeah.
Narinda Station.
Yeah,
So as
but
long as you've
that
listen.
doesn't satisfy the mission parameters.
it
Mhm.
doesn't, but you rolled so badly.
Yeah, I'm
I mean,
aware of that.
It's not my fault, Grelek, that you have performed below your
mean-
usual standards.
Grelek's not a hologram programmer. He's
No.
a science
Absolutely.
officer. He's not a
Yeah.
holo engineer. He's
Yeah.
not. But for all like over like appearance, it looks like we've done mostly what we wanted. Like the crew the Grelek and Resh are unaware if they've damaged the hologram or corrupted anything else or done anything.
If we've acted in good faith and done our best.
Yes. Yes, like a good Starfleet officer. And yeah, so it takes a little while. Like it's initializing the ESH for a little bit. Doranel appears and confirms, yes, the ship, the crew, and I would be interested in meeting more of you carbon-based life forms. We understand we have met other carbon-based life forms in the Shakelton Expanse. It's curious to learn of experiences outside of the Shakelton Expanse, although they don't call it Shakelton Expanse. It's the UT that's saying that. We will move towards your collective location.
Does anyone need to stay with the ship? Does anyone need to stay with them and the probe on their journey?
Well, Cleft.
I think the plan is for us to take the probe.
So they're good. So can you take the probe off the ship and it not affect the
Well, we've transferred.
hologram?
We think we've transferred the ESH over to their substrate, so we should be able to take the probe. Is what we were asking for. That's what we were trying to do.
Yep.
Okay, so
the brain surgery is to remove the Omega particle knowledge from the ESH, but leave the ESH on the Tolnarine.
Yeah.
That's what we hope we've done properly.
Okay.
2/5 of a proper job.
2/5 of most of the job. Most of the job.
Some of.
Mm-hmm.
That's at least 40%.
So right. So are you staying on the vessel while it goes back?
No.
Are we taking you both off the vessel?
We're both coming off, and we're bringing the probe.
And the probe is coming off, and then you're going to see what's left.
Yeah.
There.
Yeah.
So when you get back, if the information hasn't been removed, you won't know.
No, that's
and
part of the failure.
And then you won't have any opportunity to take it out again afterwards.
But that's something we can kind of live with at this point. I know we're supposed to be able to violate the Prime Directive for the Omega Directive, but that doesn't sit well with me.
This is not a Prime Directive situation because the Calmirans have warp capability.
They have warp.
This is not. This is not.
We're not interfering
with the development of that. One could say we're interfering in the development of the emergent holographic life form.
Yes, true. This is sanctity
but we're
of
doing that
life.
on purpose, and we're trying to do that as good guys. We have entered into this with the right
best of intentions.
Intentions.
So I shall wait until I am calmed to transport you back with the probe.
So there is a very sort of nervous looking ESH who's kind of like, well, I guess we'll see you at Narendra.
After the rock, we will see you at Narendra Station. Best of luck in your diplomatic mission.
Here is the diplomatic protocol pack you requested.
Fling it across, a shirt changes to red. So that kind of...
Zoranel, this is the coordinates you
straightens
need.
a photonic jacket kind of thing.
Extra pip appears.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I wasn't quite prepared for that. Oh, I've got a lot of assimilating. No, that's a bad word.
Don't use that word. Do not use the A word.
No.
I will do my best, Lieutenant Commanders.
We look forward to meeting you again at Narendra Station.
Thought leader Zoranel, if there is a comfort situation that you would like us to transmit on to Narendra so that we can prepare for your arrival, if you could transmit that data to us, we will happily prepare for a meeting space where we can both feel comfortable.
I will discuss the capabilities with Left of the Rock.
We do have photonic technologies on board Narendra Station that may be of use to you for a meeting place.
Interesting. I look forward to experiencing it.
Yes, come join the Battle of Britain with us.
I say.
Skydiving over riser and such.
Yes.
There are like nice sort of chatty parting shots, and then you suddenly remember you've left Pendek on a runabout by himself.
We should also
Right,
recommend that
The EVA suits by the back door.
they exit the area as fast as possible.
Pandek, 2 for transport. Bring the probe.
Yes, Captain. And I shall press some buttons and
Yeah, the ship will assist.
transport them.
I've got the probe on one of those little anti-grav gurneys.
Yeah.
I'm going to quickly ram the EVA suit back away in
No
his
way.
cabinet.
You've still got the EVA boots on. He's gonna hope you don't notice.
Yeah.
Wasn't doing nothing. What?
Yeah.
All right.
Pandek, why are you wearing EVA boots?
Hey, what can I say? I had a Costello moment.
They're so comfortable.
Have you found it?
I have located several particles, and I'll bring them up on the scanner on the screen.
Yeah. There's not a lot of, probably only 2, 3 particles here, but nonetheless, the like explosive yield of this is like, oh.
Have I detected any other life forms in the ice giant?
No other life around here.
Just checking.
Nothing.
You should really ask before you blow the world up.
Yeah, none of that.
Have the Kalmarians headed off?
You can see that their ship is beginning to like veer away and move. It's odd. It almost looks like a liquid kind of moves around it.
Scanning.
Yeah, it is. If no, Vulcans can appreciate beauty. It does look beautiful. It looks like
Fluidic space bad.
Yeah, it looks beautiful. The reflection of the local star makes it look magnificent.
I'm still scanning. I want to know how they propel that thing.
So Captain, are we going to go and capture one of these things?
No, we're going to blow the ever-loving crap out of it.
Oh, well, I'm glad I didn't go and capture one then.
I'm glad you didn't go and capture one. This stuff is lethally dangerous. We're supposed to destroy it. I'm kind of waiting for them to get out of range before we do, because I don't know what the explosive yield on these things is.
Would you like me to do that?
No, I've been diplomatic all afternoon.
It has been using his words most effectively.
I have a very potent need to explode something.
But in a one player to another player, your rolling's crap.
It has been so far, but I haven't touched a daring and security roll yet with a focus in tactical systems, a bold security talent.
I shall try and hold the ship as steady as I can.
That'll help.
Grelek,
If need be, we can send you out with a torpedo, Pendek. You just walk it over there.
The ship has a soliton wave, which it surfs using refraction technology to control the speed and trajectory. You estimate it could achieve a maximum of warp 6 of a vessel of this size.
Well, it's slower than we are.
Perhaps a bigger vessel could achieve a bigger soliton wave.
I will file all of that away.
There we go. That's from the book. I read it from the book.
Very good.
And I will blow the ever-loving crap out of the Omega particle.
Commander, do we have a... Looking at the data packet we were sent on the Omega particle, do we have a recommended safe distance that we're at before you explode them?
Unfortunately, Commander Grelek, I fear that the minimum safe distance in this may be powered by the Bajoran principle of prayer rather than the Vulcan principle of logic.
I do not see how that applies. Unless you're looking to summon a wormhole.
Might be helpful. We don't have the data, so we're going to have to blow it from maximum distance for our weapons.
Yeah, the micro torpedoes are long range.
Then turn and burn.
Yep. Time to blow some shit up.
I'd like to think the micro torpedoes are programmable, so we don't actually have to turn.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm hoping we don't have to point it in an exact straight line. That would be a bit rubbish.
No, I definitely want to be facing what you're shooting at.
Really
Sure, you don't want to be facing away so that we can run faster.
No, I want
Yep.
you to be able to see what you're shooting at.
No.
I don't want you to.
Do
I
a
don't want you
handbrake
to,
turn in space.
I don't. You
But
want.
cool
I don't want
guys
you to,
walk away from explosions.
I don't want you to
Yeah.
have to.
Never
Yeah,
look back.
by the time it actually blows up, we'll be going the other way.
Never look
Okay,
back.
Millie, I wish to shoot at some particles.
Teeny tiny particles. All right, so yeah, I think it's definitely going to
And I
be
plan on using overkill, so I will fire everything.
fire all the micro torpedoes you have.
Open fire,
Full yield.
all weapons,
Can I be
dispatch
assisting on
War Rocket
sensors?
Ajax to bring back his body.
Or don't bring back.
No,
his body.
nobody.
nobody's.
No.
All right. So, daring, security, Shakelton
Daring security.
Expanse is going to up the difficulty by 2. So let's call this difficulty 4. Because we're targeting teeny tiny things.
We
But
absolutely
with many
are.
kabooms.
I am of the opinion that this either meets the value of strike first, strike hard, or fortune favours the bold.
Yes.
What thinkest thou?
I think it's fortune favours the bold. It's pretty
I
bold
think it's
to blow it
fortune
up. Really.
favours the bold.
Can I give him? Does he get a bonus in how well I targeted the?
I have so many bonuses. Here we go.
I'll let him just do his stuff.
Take the bonus from Pendo.
I will take any bonuses
Okay,
that
yeah.
are available.
Pendex scan earlier will reduce the difficulty, but so we're down to 3. Difficulty 3.
We're down to 3. Is that the complication range? No, that's
That's
not.
the difficulties.
That's
That's the
the
number
difficulty.
of successes. That's not
So
in that
number
roll.
of dice in pool. How much? We've got a point of momentum, so I'll have an extra dice there.
Mm-hmm.
That gives me 3 dice. I'm using focus, tactical systems, determination, fortune favors the bold.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, value, fortune favors the bold.
Mm-hmm.
I'm rolling
So that
3
gives you 1
dice.
success.
Mm-hmm.
So you get 1 success for your value.
Yep.
Whee! That's
Pew,
much better.
pew, 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 pew. Hold up a moment,
Resh wants to
because
pew all the pew-pews. Are you going to re-roll one?
no, my thing is bold
Oh, you needed
security,
to give
so
me
it's
the,
I had to
threat.
use threat to buy it
Does
up.
this-
So I'm not
this-
going to re-roll them. No.
Does this mean you can scan the hell out of it whilst it's exploding?
I'm also scanning.
So 6 successes.
Oh, no,
What can
that's-
I do with that? I needed 4, so that leaves me with 2.
No,
We
you
can get
needed
away
3 because of
safely.
I needed
Pendex.
3 because of Pendek.
Yeah. So yeah, you could obtain a lot of information there. You could use that momentum to
So can I create an asset called
Yeah.
Data Blossom,
data blossom. Sure.
where the explosion makes it easier to analyze the data, so we can report back more data on the particle to Starfleet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. So we
Things like safe distance when blowing up.
I mean, yeah, for all the records, I know Janeway's going to encounter this in a little while and have a load of data, but that's not coming back for years.
No.
Nobody's getting that until the Pathfinder project kicks in.
Yeah.
So we are one of the first people to explodorate an Omega particle
Yeah.
since Kirk.
Woo. Good company.
Yeah, Kirk and Spock.
I'll take that.
Yeah.
Ah, well, there we go. Mr.
I'll
Smith.
take that.
That's fine.
Yep. All right. So we just gobble up data like it's Gralek is having a feast. If he could be happy, he would, but not. He's just calm and logical, and excited. No, not excited.
Definitely not
No,
excited.
not excited at all. I may have deleted large tranches of unnecessary audiovisual data that was stored in the data cores, but hey ho.
All the music from Pendek's home planet gone. All the combined works of the Trill Academy of Arts gone. Yeah.
All the 20th century Earth fictional.
You've deleted jazz from
Movie-tainments.
every piece of software in Starfleet.
No, never.
Just on the Danube, just on the Thames.
Riker would hunt me down if I did that.
Wikipedia no longer exists.
Right, so we just gobble up all this data. This data will be no good if Pendek can't fly us out.
Yeah.
Can't fly us
Mr.
out.
Pendek,
So
if you
what
could
am I
set in a
rolling on?
course for Narendra Station at maximum warp,
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to spend some threat because I haven't spent threat all day because it's
Yeah.
been good.
So, I
So
want
complication is
security.
rage is up a bit.
Yeah.
So I think this is daring and
Yeah.
con. I would,
Daring and con. Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
I would accept a different. It's definitely a con because we're piloting.
I don't mind.
Definitely a con because we're piloting.
Yeah.
It's going to be a difficulty 3 because we've got to stay ahead of this shockwave. We're not in a big old intrepid class with big fancy nacelles.
Okay. So I'm gonna challenge my one of my values,
Mm-hmm.
which is I die first,
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
please.
because I'm not gonna
challenge
die.
So you're just going to cross that out.
I'm gonna cross it out.
Okay.
Not dying today.
I'm gonna cross it out.
Modulate
Inadvertently
Like
the
that.
created.
There we go, I
can
did it for
form
you.
them into a surfboard.
Inadvertently created like 2 new values. I'll cross it out. There you go.
There we go.
So perform task.
You've got.
I'm rolling 2 dice.
Do you want
I'm
to
using
spend a bit of momentum
focus.
to get an extra dice?
Yeah.
I
Okay,
support
we'll do
as well because I'm currently channeling a fighter pilot.
that. Okay, using focus.
Yeah. If Pendex succeeds, you can roll a dice and give him an extra aid.
And value.
And I have upped the critical range by 1.
I don't worry about these things.
There was a complication from Resh.
That was on my support.
Oh,
Super helpful.
wow.
Good job, me. Good job.
Wow.
I was doing really well.
You were.
Until
You had
until
3
this,
successes and then I
until
helped.
this
Resh just
fighter
leans
pilot
over
helped.
and goes, "No,
Beep.
do this."
Like this. Switching to manual. Give me the
Okay.
stick.
All right.
It doesn't have a stick.
It just comes up out of the control panel. All right. So the buffeting and the bashing around of the runabout, we don't see it because we're all on the bridge, like, seatbelts on, bouncing around, gobbling up data. But we just see like
Tasty data.
the probe in the spare room or whatever. It's in a bed or something. Because where else are we going to put this? It's a big thing. They're not tiny little. But they're big people-length things because Worf's wife flew in a probe. Remember that?
No.
And we just see it like clatter and bang and like something like we break.
Oh dear.
Something happens to the probe that will be
It's an engineering problem.
later defined, perhaps.
We don't have an engineer with us. It's not
We'll
our
get
fault.
Tosh to fix that. That's
Yeah.
fine.
No, you can't.
No,
It's,
he doesn't have clearance.
It doesn't have clearance. You can't tell anybody about all this cool
Don't
shit.
tell him what it is.
Just fix it and forget.
Just fix it.
Do as you're told, Tosh. Oh,
Yeah.
that's not gonna cause problems.
Not going
in
to
the
fly.
future.
You know, thing.
Yeah, the
I'm gonna give Resh the look of do not touch anything again ever.
Ever.
If I'm
Hey, big
flying
chair.
this
Big
ship,
chair. Not a
Captain.
problem. Big chair. Don't
Yeah.
blame me. Blame Elaney.
and I think we
And
Don't
with
blame
my
Eleni,
three
she's
with
dead.
my 3 successes, right?
Mhm.
Can I create something which warns me when Resh is getting close to the control panel?
no, you needed 3 successes not to all have some sort of
Oh,
explosion and death.
Sorry.
You've got
Yeah, well, okay.
one momentum left, which is not quite enough to
No,
fix stuff,
okay, never mind.
unfortunately.
No, that's fine.
Um,
That's fine. I didn't want to fix stuff. I just wanted to make sure that I was aware. Oh, should have used constantly watching, shouldn't I? It's my talent, constantly watching. When you attempt to detect a danger, Resh, or hidden enemies, Resh.
It wouldn't have helped though, because I have the talent quick to action. I could have pressed the button. You'd have been like, oh, too late.
Too late.
all right, so there's a little bit of like ego bashing and
Bicker.
bicker.
I'm deep in Grelic is deep in data. Grelic doesn't get.
Yeah.
That's
The
fascinating,
probe in the back
Commander.
of the ship is
What
bashed
are you
about.
two doing?
But we survive this huge explosion. Pretty much takes out the ice. Ice is now being ejected across the system. Most of the planets and stuff around the area, if this had been inhabited, would not have been a good day for them. And the ship flies
Yoink.
towards the screen, flies towards the camera as it does in Star Trek. And I think that's where the episode ends, with like the three of us flying back, because we don't know what happens with the debrief, because that's beyond our release. And then we had the Resh sat in a bar trying not to tell everybody cool stuff they've done last week back on the Rindra, secrets and that kind of stuff. And we will find out another time whether our first contact went well. Our Cleft of the Rock is a balanced and sensible diplomatic program.
But she's not going to be an opera singing author, so at least there's that.
Yeah. Maybe she'll come and take a little trip on Voyager in the
Yeah. We might get a survey crew member.
We could, if you want, we could make that happen. But yeah, that was an epic finale of exploding shit.
And we flew away from the explosion.
Yay.
Yeah, Pendek flew away.
Always. Never look back.
With lots of yeehawing.
Yes.
And we have very definitely caught the Admiral's attention.
Yes.
Yeah.
Admiral April Herbert definitely knows who you are
For
now.
right reasons.
And I don't think we'll call it the Pendek maneuver.
No?
I think we'll call it the Thames maneuver, because
Ah.
that's the ship we're on,
Yeah.
and we are the crew of the Thames. And I don't think Pendek would want quite that kind of notoriety for that.
But one of
That seems-
Pendek's values is I will make my name.
Yeah, but Pendek's created vodka for the Klingons. That's kind of like cool recognition. This is kind of like nerdy recognition. I think Pendek's more
He
on
doesn't want nerd rep.
Oh, wow.
You get
No,
any
but
other
I
kind of
see.
rep in Starfleet though?
Oh,
think
Grellick,
Pendek-
you get to do that throwing shade thing at other Vulcans now, where you can't tell them something because they don't have clearance.
I made some very interesting discoveries in the Shakelton Expanse that I cannot tell you about.
Yes,
Yeah.
I will be writing this up in my memoirs.
Yeah.
These sealed journals will be released in 200 years. You'll have to read them then.
If your work is sufficiently competent, I'm sure you'll be granted clearance to read them.
Nice. I like it. Good effort. Good effort, Grellick. Yeah. So that is the end of Cleft of the Rock. Thank you very much for playing Star Trek with me. I had fun.
Yeah,
I love
Yeah,
Star
it was
Trek.
cool.
It was good.
Star Trek.
Weird spaceships and strange explosions. Yeah, I mean, I need to make a close. I need to make a closing thingy, don't I? That's what I'll do.
Yeah.
That's what I'll do.
It's like zooming spaceships. And
Yeah.
I'll try and find some zooming spaceships and
Any
some
zooming spaceship.
starfields. What day is it? It's Tuesday, not Thursday. Oof,
Oh, it's weird.
that's weird.
Oh,
Tomorrow,
yeah.
tomorrow on Garblag, we're going to be a wutao.
Oh, Titao.
That's it. Once upon a time in the old world.
Oh, okay, we're not Mancunian. Right.
No, no,
sorry.
no.
I
I
got
just like
confused.
that the acronym is watatatao. It's very cool. Yeah, so join us tomorrow from 8 p.m. for more WFRP 4th edition with GM Jim taking elven envoys into the sewers under Middenheim, because why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Mid-series episode. This is the one where the writer's strike happens.
Is it? Oh, cool. Yeah, so we're partway through the season there. Then on Thursday,
We've got Monster of the Week, where Alden is going to be reprising his role as
One of the
creepy,
Von Wagners.
floaty elf guy.
That's the one.
Nice. And then on Friday,
Oh, also on Thursday we've got Americans, haven't
American
we?
Times. Yeah, I know. How could I forget Delta Green?
How could you forget Delta
I've been
Green?
so
It's because
caught
of
up.
jealousy, isn't it? It's because you
total
wish you were
jealousy.
running it.
I wish I was playing in it. I wish I was running it. Unfortunately, I have to go to bed sometimes.
Oh,
Uh,
boo.
Ooh, sleep. But yay, the absolutely beautiful game of Viscid that Jeff from the Lollygaggers is running for us. It's amazing.
It is a thing of beauty and
Chaos
strangeness.
and sanity loss and everything. And then on Friday, is it more powered by the apocalypse?
It is more powered by the apocalypse. We've got some masks on Friday
And a
where
superhero game?
teenage superheroes.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, Heavyweight Gaming, welcome. Thank you for raiding us. We are all about to go home to bed.
Night. Hi. Bye.
We
And
were
good night.
just saying on Friday we will. Hey, it's Bardic Inspiration. How are you doing? I know you folks. Come and see you in a month.
Everybody's here. There's Emrys as well. Hi.
Yeah, we were just talking about what's on Garblog for the rest of this week. We're up to fireworks happening near my house. How exciting! They're going to get in trouble. It's very late. We were talking about what's happening on the rest of the week. We're up to Friday, and we're going to be playing some superhero games. Masks, which is powered by the Apocalypse. Ben's going to be running it for us. You got any spoilers for us yet?
No, that would imply planning.
Excellent.
However, I can tell you that on Saturday at the ridiculous hours, because it's an American thing, I am going to be playing Glitter Hearts,
That sounds amazing.
which is another powered by the Apocalypse game with like magical transforming Sentai types. Who knows? Maybe I'll even be a magical princess.
You are already a magical princess, Ben.
Thanks,
I'll
Ben.
lend you my flowing locks if you like.
I would accept your hair so quickly that you would regret your baldness for the rest of your days.
I'm not sure whether how to end the evening.
Fade to black, Billy. Fade to
Fade to
black.
black. Oh, thank you very much for joining us, folks. We'll be back tomorrow. See you later. Bye.
Live long and prosper.
Bye.